Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 162 of the regular season, where the Astros win 3-2 over the Philadelphia Phillies and cap off a 105-win season. Man, in a game where there were only 5 total runs scored, there is so much to talk about with this game, some of the performances, and then the season at large and going into the postseason, so let's waste no time. The Astros offense somehow had 12 hits, 14 total base runners, and scored 3 runs, which is mind-boggling somehow. Big performances today. McCormick filling in for Tucker. He got his at-bat. He got to play the field for like an inning and a third, or an inning plus, because he just went out there to have the curtain call, which was super cool for Kyle Tucker. Amazing season, well-deserved. Chas McCormick came in and was fantastic. 3 base hits today, 3 for 3. Awesome way to cap off the season for Chas McCormick, who is criminally underrated. I am totally confident going into next season with him as my starting center fielder. Yordan Alvarez had a nice day to finish off the season. A pair of base hits, nothing too shabby there. And David Hensley coming in to fill in for Yordan Alvarez. Also, not too bad. Got a triple in 1 at bat. I mean, David Hensley, again, I've mentioned it before, quietly had an amazing season. In very, very small sample size. I want to say it was under 30 total at bats, but in the short stint that he was here, David Hensley put his name on the radar for the Astros. Bregman and Yuli Gurriel would both go on today to reach base twice. Both had a base hit and a walk drawn, so nothing too shabby there. Jake Myers and Mauricio Dubon would both go 1 for 3 with a couple of base hits. And to cap off the offense, Christian Vasquez would have a home run in 1 at bat. So, again, the offense was weird because 14 base runners is like, oh man, great offensive day. 3 runs is like, oh, that's below average, actually. So we'll go to the pitching side of the ball, which is pretty funny. Framber Valdez, after I said recently, the last game Framber pitched, I said, man, if he gets one more game, he would have to be otherworldly to make me give him my trust as the Game 2 starter in the playoffs. And I think I said something to like 5 shutout with like no hard contact and a crazy strikeout total. And Framber Valdez just serving me crow. 5 shutout innings, 1 walk, 2 base hits, only 3 hard hit balls today. 10 strikeouts. 10 for Framber Valdez. Are you kidding me? 15 swings and misses. Yeah, if he's the Game 2 starter, I'm good. Like, this is exactly what I said. This is exactly what I was meaning when I said he would have to have an otherworldly performance for me to give him the confidence. I give him the confidence. This was an amazing performance to cap off a fantastic year for Framber. And speaking of capping off fantastic years, Brian Abreu would come in for an inning of shutout baseball with a pair of strikeouts, 3 swings and misses. Nothing too shabby there for Brian Abreu, who just sub-2 ERA for the season. What a year for Abreu. And then Ryan Stanek would have a 1-2-3 inning because Stanek, potentially the best reliever on the Astros roster, lowest ERA among relievers in the American League this season, shattering the Astros franchise record for reliever ERA in a season. Unbelievable from Ryan Stanek this season. A fantastic year. And then Phil Maton would come into the game where he would record 1 out and give up a pair of base hits that would lead to a pair of runs. So that's a lot of fun. Rafael Montero would come in. He'd go 2/3 and get out of it without surrendering any more runs, so that's a positive. And Ryan Presley would come in the 9th to seal the game. Underrated season for Ryan Presley, all said and done. His inning of work, 1 hard hit ball, 4 swings and misses, pair of strikeouts, nothing too shabby from Ryan Presley. And so, the Astros cap off an amazing season with so many amazing storylines and performances. I mean, what a year for the Houston Astros. And now, for my little spiel before we go into the postseason. Do not let the win total, don't let that be any misconception. This is the greatest Houston Astros team, at least for the regular season, that the organization has ever trotted out. We have never had a staff this deep of a rotation and a bullpen. We have never had a lineup with genuine killers top to bottom like this. You can look at other numbers like WRC plus for individual seasons or any number such as that. But I'm telling you, this is the greatest Houston Astros team we have ever put to diamond. And coming off a season where you lose a couple of key pieces, You're not too sure how you're going to look in the postseason or in the regular season. The Mariners are a team on the rise. People were saying the Angels were a team on the rise. And you looked around the American League full of just all sorts of great talent, and you go, man, the Astros might be the 5th or 6th spot and have to settle for a wild card, where they might even have to go on the road in the wild card. And then the Astros did this. I read a statistic just a few minutes ago on Twitter. I want to say it was 99.4% of innings thrown in Minute Maid Park this season for the Astros were by pitchers with a sub-4 ERA. That is ridiculous. That is utterly ridiculous how amazing the staff was this season on the pitching side of it. And not even mentioning the hitting side. Yordan Alvarez having one of the best seasons in franchise history. Jose Altuve by WRC Plus having the best season of his career. Bregman, who started off iffy, but down the stretch turned it on and was 2019 Bregman just come back to life like he's never been before. Pena had an up and down season, but when he was batting second, he was fantastic. Then you have Kyle Tucker, who's had an amazing season. Chas McCormick, who I feel has had a criminally underrated season. Aledmus Diaz, who has been surprisingly clutch when he's needed to be for the Houston Astros. And the depth, people. It's ridiculous. You have Vasquez coming off the bench or potentially starting games if Maldi needs a day off. You have Mancini, who's going to be left field DH benching the postseason. You have even like just occasional role players have been solid, like people like David Hensley or J.J. Matenjevic this season. I'm not suggesting they should be starting in postseason games, but as pinch hitters in certain situations, I'd feel okay with them. And then to actually go name by name on the pitching side of this Astros team, Verlander having the best season of his Hall of Fame career. You have Framber Valdez, who's had an amazing season. Christian Javier, who is poised to have a Cy Young caliber season next year, and ultimately, if it weren't for Verlander literally having the best season of a Hall of Fame career and just doing things that have never been done before for a person like him coming off of Tommy John surgery, might genuinely be a Cy Young candidate. Like, we'll just put that in there. Lance McCullers, who came back and didn't miss a single beat coming off of the injury. And then even guys who are not the best, guys like Urquidy, guys like Garcia, are still solid pitchers, and for a lot of teams would be middle of the order, like pitchers, like middle of the rotation. And of course the bullpen headlined by Abreu and Stanek, but also solid seasons out of people like Presley, Montero, who's proven that he might have been the principal part of that trade looking back at it. This is, again, the best team the Astros have ever put out. And boy, oh boy, they look posed to make another run to a World Series and maybe even win it. If the Astros get a pennant this season, I think it's starting to be a genuine conversation to be had. But if the Astros make a run and win the World Series this October, we are a dynasty, bona fide. 4 pennants, a pair of World Series, and 5 division titles in 6 years. That's a dynasty. So next Tuesday, time to be decided, an opponent to be decided. The Houston Astros prepare for another month of war in October. And I can't wait. Which also, streams are 100% back. I saw a couple of comments on this. Yeah, those are happening without a doubt. I loved doing them last year. I love the few that I actually did this year. Those are 100% happening. They should all happen without a hitch. I might be late to a few games, but I'll figure that out in due time. Streams are 100% happening, and I'll be here no matter what the time is next Tuesday to begin the grueling postseason. And on that note, we cap off another season. The 3rd season I've made videos for the Astros. The 2nd full 162-game season I've made videos for the Astros. And I just want to genuinely say thank you guys, because I love doing these. I love the interaction. I love being around Astros fans in whatever way I can. I'm not from Houston. I don't go to the games in Minute Maid. And so being with you guys, doing all of this, it's the closest I get to that. And it's just such an awesome feeling of community. And it's close to being there for me. And I just genuinely, I thank you all for watching. I thank you all for supporting me and commenting and chatting, whether it's on YouTube or the community tab or Twitter, wherever it is, whatever it is. Thank you. I also just realized in this moment that it was 106 and not 105 and that I'm stupid. I'm not changing that, but that's all I have to say for the video. So thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you in the playoffs. Go Stros.